All right, today we're tackling something that's quietly happening on college campuses everywhere: the huge, often hidden cost of constant tech changes. This is all about what it feels like to be left behind at login. I mean, you know that feeling, right? You finally get the hang of one system, and then boom, there's a mandatory update or totally new platform, a completely different workflow. It just feels like you're in this constant race to keep up. Well, it turns out that personal frustration, it's actually a symptom of a much, much bigger problem in higher education. We're not just talking about being annoyed here. This is a full-blown crisis, and it has some pretty serious consequences for literally everyone involved. So how do we know all this? Well, we're diving deep into the incredible research from Dr. Ronnie Rodis. This is really his work we're exploring. He's a leading expert with certifications in digital learning and instructional design. And it's so important to note that he's the one who conducted all the data collection and analysis himself. His focus, which I love, isn't just on the tech. It's on the human side of things. What happens behind the screen? So what did Dr. Rodis' research actually find? Well, it all kicks off with this massive disconnect. There's this huge gap between what universities say they want to do with technology and what their own staff are really experiencing day to day. And at the heart of this problem is this thing called techno-stress. And look, this is way more than just being a little annoyed at your computer. We're talking about a genuine psychological strain. It's the kind of thing that can take highly skilled, experienced professionals and make them feel insecure, less confident, and even kind of pushed out from their own teams. And to really get to the bottom of this, the study had this really clever approach. It basically compared two things: what the institution said was happening versus what its people actually felt was happening. So on one hand, you have the human story, right? This was gathered from dozens of really in-depth interviews and focus groups, basically what people were saying when they could speak freely. But on the other hand, the research analyzed 120 official documents. We're talking emails, policy memos, training sideshows, the official story. And let me tell you, the difference between the two is just staggering. Okay, so check this out. This is the raw data from those private conversations with staff. A whopping 65% of what they had to say about new tech was negative. They felt overwhelmed, they felt unsupported, totally stressed out. Only a tiny 10% felt purely positive about it. But then you look at this. When the study looked at the official messaging from the institution, the numbers completely flip. A full 70% of their communications were positive, all about innovation, efficiency, how great things are. They're basically broadcasting success, while their people are struggling in silence. That right there is the disconnect. So, why does a gap like this even matter? I mean, who cares, right? Well, it's dangerous because this isn't just about feelings. It has real, tangible consequences that can impact the entire university. And believe me, the stakes are super high. First off, student services take a hit. I mean, if the staff can't use the tools, how can they support the students effectively? Second, it creates serious inequity. These digital skill gaps can lead to subtle ageism, making long-time, valuable employees feel like they're being pushed out. And third, and this is a big one, it is a colossal waste of money. We're talking millions spent on tech that nobody's really using to its full potential, completely destroying the return on investment. But here's the good news. The research doesn't just leave us with the problem, it actually offers a really clear path forward. It's like a practical roadmap for how to fix this. And what's so crucial here is that the solutions are all human-centered. This isn't about throwing more training manuals at people. No, it's about things like giving them protected time every week to actually practice, or pairing up experienced staff with tech-savvy peers to mentor them. How about creating no-shame help channels, on Slack or Teams, where it's totally safe to ask a dumb question? Then you make these new skills actually count for promotions with microcredentials. You also have to audit the official messages to make them supportive, not demanding. And finally, you got to track what actually matters. Not just did we install it, but can people use it well? So when you put it all together, it leads to this really profound shift in how you see the problem. The real fix here, it's not a technical one. It's a cultural one. And there's a key insight from the research that just says it all perfectly. Treat adoption as a time and culture problem, not only a skills problem. You see? The issue was never just about whether someone could learn a new skill. It's always been about giving them the time and creating a culture where it's even possible to learn. So what it really boils down to is this. True tech adoption only happens when people feel safe enough to say, I don't know how to do this. It happens when they're given actual, dedicated time to learn without panicking about falling behind, and it happens when the institution sees them and supports them as people, not just, as users. And that really leaves us with one last big question to think about. Maybe the question isn't, can our people learn this new tech? Maybe the real question we should be asking our organizations is, have we created a culture where they actually can? If you want to dive deeper into all this, you can find out more at phdadvisement.com.